Hi everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So in today's episode, we're going to be looking at a very important component on a typical Redbubble shop. Unfortunately, it is a component of a shop that most people do tend to leave empty, effectively, potentially leaving a lot of money on the table because of the fact that they are leaving this bare. Curious to find out what this component is? Stay tuned. Now, before we continue with today's episode, the fact that you're here gives indication that you are interested in all things pertaining to print on demand. And for that, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell notification icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload a new video to my channel. I upload videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and the goal of all the content on my channel is to help you reach greater success with your print-on-demand business. And now with that said, let's hop on over to my computer so that we'll find out what this component of the Redbubble shop is that you should be giving more attention to. Okay, welcome to my computer screen, and today the component of the Redbubble shop that we are going to be discussing pertains to the artist profile. Now, the artist profile is a very important component on your Redbubble shop because it is the first way that you can actually compose a message to your potential customer to give them a notion, an idea of what you're all about, what you believe in, what you're hoping to achieve through the shop. Clearly, you're not going to be able to create a romance novel, but clearly in the number of characters that Redbubble provides to an artist for the artist profile, you're going to be expressing a very important message. Now, the reason why I brought this up in today's episode is because in doing a number of research and browsing through various shops, I've noticed that this is a very important component that many people tend to overlook and basically leave blank, or at worst just put in a few odd lines that really don't account to much and doesn't really give a true feeling to a potential customer about what that particular seller is all about. So in today's episode, I'm going to take you through a few artist profiles that I came across, and we're going to go through them together very quickly in order to see what is missing. And as we progress from one artist profile to the other, you're going to see that each one is getting a little bit better. And then we're going to end today's episode with a template that I'm going to provide to you, particularly for those of you for whom the English language may not be your first language, in order to obviously utilize and adapt to your respective shop so that you can actually fill in this very important component. And if you stick around to the end, there are certain aspects of an artist profile that you should really have activated within this section in order to gain some very important social proof, and I'll talk to you more about that later on in the episode. Okay, so let's start. Now, what I've done is I've blanked out the name of the shops and anything that might actually give reference to that shop. Again, these shop owners did not ask me or did not give me permission to put these things up, so I do want to respect their privacy, and I do want to respect their shop too as well. Each of these shops that I visited had excellent and wonderful designs, and it is my hope, my intention that by showing this and going through this exercise, if they do happen to be watching this episode, can potentially take the advice that I'm giving and actually initiate it within their own respective shop in order to help their business grow even more than perhaps maybe what it already is. And for those of you who are watching, well, clearly getting this information, incorporating it into your shop can only lead to potentially greater success for your respective shop as well. Okay, so the first shop that I came across in terms of the artist profile basically is about, and there was the name of the shop, the location of the shop. So this was in the United States. This seller is currently very new with only 17 designs, but effectively there's absolutely nothing else that tells the customer about this particular seller. So this particular artist profile, out of all the ones that I'm going to show you, is effectively the one which is basically at the bottom of the barrel. So there is a lot of room for improvement with respect to the artist profile for this particular shop. Now the next one, again, we have a profile picture which has been blurred out, whereas the previous one did not have it. So we have a profile picture which is already a step in the right direction. This particular shop owner comes from Israel, had a number of designs already, which was great. And then basically the profile stated, just eat me, I'm just, and then there was a food item there, which I blurred out because it will give indication of as to what the name of the shop is. And by my designs, they're eatable. Okay, as we can see, there are some grammatical mistakes over here. Again, it does not give indication about what the shop owner is all about, what the likes are, what they're hoping to achieve through this shop. So again, you're leaving the customer up in the air, and they really don't get a flavor for what you're all about. And again, in most cases, certain customers will actually look for this, and if they can feel a connection, will continue going through and browse through the shop. If they find that, they can't connect with you, then there's a good chance that they'll probably bounce and go to another shop. Okay, the next one. Okay, so we're getting a little bit better. So we have hi, so we're getting some kind of communication there. I'm blank, a designer. My job is my passion, and I've been working on something that I think is pretty cool. I hope it's to your taste. Thank you. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more of a connection over here. There's still a lot left to be desired, but it's a lot better than the previous artist profiles we've seen. Now the next one, this person joined in August 2014, had a certain number of designs as well. Is a hobby designer, sports fan, and aviation enthusiast. Use my mediocre design skills to put the ideas in my head on here. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're being given indication as to what the seller enjoys, so that's a step in the right direction. A negative light has already been lit on this shop because of the fact that the seller used my mediocre design skills. When you're creating an artist profile, you want to avoid doing this. You don't want to give any indication as to the level of design skills that you might have. This can definitely put off a customer. If you're saying, listen, hey, I'm a mediocre graphic designer, well, customers are going to say, well, why would I want to spend my hard-earned money on a design which is effectively mediocre? Because if you're telling me you're a mediocre graphic designer, well, thank you, good luck with yourself, but I'm going to go to somebody who's a lot better. So again, this shop owner has already put his or her shop in a negative light. So you always want to make sure that if you're putting in any kind of adjectives to describe yourself or your skill set, use positive ones. You want to make sure that you want to entice your customer to go in and browse through your shop. This particular phrase here is working against you. Okay, hope you enjoy. That's very nice too as well. But again, use my mediocre design skills to put the ideas in my head on here. Again, there's some grammatical issues here. And again, yes, I know it's a teacher in me who's bringing this out, but you have to comprehend the importance of making sure that your shop looks professional in all ways. And that also includes your sentence structure within your artist profile. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this particular shop owner comes from Brazil. It says, hello, I like arts and watch over several environment settings to make beautiful landscapes and abstract artworks. There is another store with animal pictures in, and then we have a link. Okay, while there are definitely grammatical issues with the sentence structure of this particular artist profile, there is an aspect in this profile which is definitely better than all of the previous ones that came before it. Can you guess what it is? It's right here. Is this link over here. Many shop owners are unaware that within your artist profile, you can actually insert a link to another website, a social media account, or what have you. And this is a really important aspect that you should not be leaving out when you're creating your own artist profile. And I'll explain a little bit more a little bit later on. So this particular artist profile, while there are certain things which are missing, the fact that we have a website link to another, in this particular case, Redbubble shop, is a huge step in the right direction. Okay, let's move on. So in this particular case, I did not remove the shop owner's name because this particular artist profile is doing something really, really fantastic. Now, basically, aside from the fact that this particular shop owner is a featured artist on Redbubble and has quite a number of favorites, 75,000 favorites, quite a number of followers, and is in turn following quite a number his or herself, we have two very important components that is a huge positive for this particular shop. Now, the first one is, as you can see up over here, we've got two links to social media accounts pertaining to this particular shop owner. And the second are the clickable social media links that are found at the bottom. Now, why is this important? Aside from the fact that the person did not include any other text pertaining to his or herself in terms of what she or he likes, okay, so that is definitely something that if this person is watching, I would highly recommend that he or she does. The fact that they have provided links to social media accounts is a fundamentally important aspect to include in the artist profile. Why? Well, let's stop and consider for a moment. A customer has visited the shop, has found a design that either he or she really resonated with, and made a purchase. Now, the fact that that person has received the product, and we're going to assume that he or she is absolutely elated with the product and the design that he or she has received, the fact that there's a social media link here in the artist profile could potentially lead the customer to go back to the shop, click on the link, and actually say thank you to the particular shop owner through the social media account for the wonderful design on the product that they received. And if this particular shop owner is really on top of his or her game, that person would take the opportunity to reply to the customer, and in communicating and in keeping contact with the customer, that customer is going to feel important, is going to feel appreciated. So what can potentially happen? The fact that the customer has received acknowledgement from the seller after sending a message through the social media account, he or she is going to be open again to the idea of revisiting the shop and making future purchases. Okay, it's all about keeping that trust factor, the communication, the sense and feeling that, hey, as a customer, you are important to me. And when the customer feels that, he or she will continue coming back to browse through your shop and actually, hopefully, making future sales. In addition, in keeping regular contact, or is at least if anything showing some form of appreciation to the customer for taking the time to get in touch with the seller, if you could actually gain access to a photo of your customer either showcasing or wearing your design on the product that he or she purchased, this in turn could be used for social proof on your own social media accounts. Now think about it for a moment. We're constantly always on the lookout for programs, platforms, websites that will allow us to provide for mockups that we can use on our respective social media accounts. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's actually really great. But just imagine how much better it would be to receive a review, a photo from a customer who has purchased your design on a product that you could in turn use on your social media links. And let's put all the cards on the table. When you actually create a mock-up, it does really look professional. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you receive a photo from a customer who is wearing your t-shirt with your design, or showcasing your design on a duvet cover that he or she purchased for their master bedroom, and have sent you that photo more often than not is probably going to be via a mobile phone or a very basic point and shoot camera, and it's not going to be very professional even in terms of lighting. But because of the fact that you're using these kinds of photos on your social media accounts as well, when people are visiting and seeing your posts, they're going to be able to discern which ones are the professionally made mock-ups and which ones aren't. And if you start gaining quite a number of non-professional social proof photos of actual customers who have purchased your product and are sending you photos of the products that they purchased, that's going to instill a greater sense of curiosity amongst potentially new customers who will then in turn visit your shop and be more open to the idea of purchasing things from your shop because they would have seen other people's photos of the purchases that they've made. So it's a very productive cycle that one you should definitely try to work to achieve, because the more social proof that you can get, the better it's going to be for your shop. And the only way that you're going to be able to obtain social proof from people who have made a purchase through Redbubble is through these links that you put in your artist profile. So if you leave that blank, you're effectively leaving money on the table. So I really want to highly encourage you to take note of the good practices that this particular shop owner, and indeed the next few shops that I'm going to be showing you, so that you can incorporate that into your shop and hopefully be able to jump on the bandwagon for acquiring social proof media. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so the next one is a shop called Chris Rodriguez from Portugal, and here he says, I'm Portuguese. Okay, and I love beautiful things of life. I am a painter, a designer, and I like to create works of nature, fantasy, and history. So feel at home, welcome to my world, and thank you for your visit. P.S. You can visit me also at, and obviously he gave two other links pertaining to print-on-demand shops that he owns as well. And again, at the bottom, he's activated all of his social media links that obviously he has a presence onto as well. And don't worry if you don't know how to do this. I'm going to show you in an upcoming slide how you can go about doing it. But again, look at this. He's telling people where he's from. He's telling people what he loves to do. He's a painter. He's a designer. And the three things that he's really interested pertain to nature, fantasy, and history. So any potential customer who likes any of these particular niches will definitely be more curious to go into the shop and see what this seller has to offer. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Now this one is about Little Clyde, a relatively new shop from Berlin with only 112 designs. And he or she stated, these are the things inside my head. My work is a study of introspection, nostalgia, joy, and imagination with a heavy emphasis on nature. I like to combine analog painting with digital techniques to create a unique style. I've been inspired by many different landscapes from my early childhood in suburban New York to my formative island years in Hawaii, and the many stops from there to my current home in the ever-changing city of Berlin, Germany. So again, this particular seller has really given potential customers a great idea about what he or she is all about, where his or her experiences have come from to help him or her inspire the types of designs that are created and that are displayed in the shop. And as you can see, he or she must be doing something really great, because with over 286,000 favorited designs, with over 62,000 followers, okay, this person is a featured artist on Redbubble and is doing all that he or she needs to do in order to make sure that his or her Redbubble shop is as successful and is as professionally laid out as possible. And again, we have the social media links over here at the bottom, which are clickable and can take customers to visit and keep that important communication aspect alive between the seller and the customer. Okay, so what does it take to create a good bio? So a great bio should encourage customers to dive into your shop and explore all of your designs. So if you're giving them something to make them curious, they're going to continue browsing through your shop. Your bio should be short and simple and optimized for SEO. SEO, if you don't know, is search engine optimization. And basically that's where you are putting in keywords in your bio to tell your customers what you're all about. But more importantly, it also helps to tell Redbubble and Google what your shop is all about, what your designs are all about, and how to index your shop accordingly and show your designs to potential customers who are either searching for your designs or for designs similar to what you have on Redbubble or on Google itself. So your shop will appear higher in online searches, and that's fundamentally important. The higher you rank in online searches, both in Redbubble and in Google, the more potential traffic you are going to generate for your respective shop. So what to include in your bio? Well, what kind of materials or media do you enjoy using? Is it something like watercolors, photography, illustrations, etc.? Any kind of materials or media you enjoy using, you should consider narrowing it down to a couple of them, your top 2 or 3, to insert into your bio. What are your passions? Do you like abstract designs, kids illustrations, landscape photography, character design? I mean, there are so many different types of medias and materials that you can enjoy using. Well, you could put those inside your bio as well. Do you have any achievements? Perhaps you've received some awards, or maybe did some work for a recent client, or perhaps maybe you had an exhibition up somewhere, or maybe you were interviewed for an article in a newspaper or a website. Any of these could potentially be inserted into your bio if it's going to help customers to increase their curiosity to come and visit your shop. Are you open to being contacted for commissions or collaborations? Clearly, this is a no-brainer. The fact that you're selling on Redbubble means that you're open to trying to increase your profit margin. And if you're not going to make sales just through Redbubble, you might as well also try and make sales through collaborations or commissions. And again, by including links either to a website or to your social media accounts in your artist profile is going to allow for these potential clients the opportunity to reach out to you and to try and discuss potential work that you could take on, and effectively means increasing your profit margins. And again, don't forget to ask them to follow you on social media and on Redbubble itself. Because don't forget, Redbubble also has Bubble Mail, and potential customers could also get in touch with you via Bubble Mail if they are so inclined to do so as well. Okay, so how do you go about activating your social media links on your artist profile? Well, I've taken a screenshot here. So when you're on Redbubble and you click on your account settings, you're going to be taken to a page that looks similar to this. And on the left-hand side under Artist Tools, you have all of the different links that you could click on. What you want to do is you want to click on this link here called Link to Other Sites. And when you do, this page is going to open up here. And effectively, these are all of the various social media links that you could potentially link your accounts to so that they will actually be clickable on your artist profile. Have a Facebook page? No problem. Open up a browser, go to Facebook, go to your account, copy the link, and paste it over here. Have a Twitter account? Paste your Twitter account handle over here. Do you have an Instagram? Paste your Instagram handle here too as well. Okay? Tumblr, and there's a few more that you can actually see. Some of them are, I'm going to admit, certain websites that I'm not aware of too as well, but that's okay. If you happen to know what this Behance.net is, by all means, open the link, copy it, and paste it over here. And when you're done, you just scroll down to the bottom of the page, click Save, and all of these links that you've put in will become clickable icons in your artist profile so that customers could effectively click on those and actually visit your social media accounts and get in touch with you over there. So what you could do is effectively, if you have a website that you want to include, or maybe an email address that you would like to include, you could actually leave that in the body of your artist profile, and then your social media accounts come to this section on Redbubble and insert them over here. And this way, you get the best of both worlds. So, template example. So for those of you for whom English is not a first language, okay, I'm going to be providing you with a template example that you could actually download. I'll have the link available in the description below. That again, you could actually download and tweak it to fit your own personal shop, and then actually go into your artist profile and copy and paste and do all of these wonderful things that I'm showing you in this episode so that you can really enhance your artist profile and make it as professional and as keyword rich and as SEO rich as you possibly can to obviously help direct more traffic to your shop. So here is an example. I'm a freelance graphic designer from Canada, or you could change the country name to yours. I love animal photography, sketch artistry, and abstract patterns. Again, you can change those three with what you love. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as at your social media handle. You can obviously put your own handle in there and see my work at www.yourwebsite.com. Again, you're going to be inserting your own website there if you have one. If you don't, then you can just leave this out. I'm available for work and collaborations. If you'd like, please feel free to message me via Bubble Mail or through my social media accounts. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and enjoy browsing through my shop. So you're giving an artist profile that is well-rounded, covers all of the bases with respect to what you should be including in an efficient and professional artist profile. You're giving your customers the opportunity to get in touch with you either before or after making a purchase. And again, you're not leaving your artist profile out to the wind, blank, or worse yet, empty, so that customers will not know anything about you or your shop. Remember, profiles should not be longer than 500 characters in length. And if you stick to the template that I've given you, you should be well under the 500 and should have no problems cutting and pasting it into your artist profile. Again, obviously, if you do include some words which are rather lengthy in character numbers, obviously there's a potential for going over 500 characters, but hey, don't worry about that. Just continue refining, cutting, changing
until you actually get it under 500 and you'll be good to go.
So there you have it, everybody. As you can see, the artist profile is a very important component of a Redbubble shop. You want to make sure that you are giving your shop a human feel to it. And the fact that you can include links to your social media accounts is fundamentally important in ensuring a two-way communication between yourself and your customers so that you can get that all-important social proof. So don't leave this component empty on your shop. Take a look at the template that I provided, download it, manipulate it, and change it in any way that you'd like that would fit your shop in the best manner possible, and keep that communication stream open between you and your potential customer. It will serve you as you continue working to build and improve the overall appearance of your shop and indeed your business to help you reach a higher degree of success. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now.